Hey guys, if you missed episode number 166 of the EcomCrew podcast about the 5-minute pitch, I just wanted to remind you that entries for that are closing soon. So go over to 5minutepitch.com to sign up today. And again, if you missed that episode, you're probably wondering what the heck it is that I'm talking about. Well, our friends Steve Chu, Scott Boker, and Greg Mercer have teamed together with me to do the 5-minute pitch. The four of us were in Miami one day having some drinks and came up with this idea. And I'm just so excited to be able to join them to do this. It's going to be so cool. And the winner's going to get $50,000. So the way it's going to work is just apply over at 5minutepitch.com. Tell us about your business, your product, your idea. We're going to narrow it down through all the submissions to 32 people. Those 32 people will then have an opportunity to pitch us for 5 minutes. The ones that we like will move forward, and it'll be kind of a bracket round after that. We'll have some cool guest judges as well, and we'll get down to one winner. That winner's going to win 50,000 schmolians or beans, jelly beans, whatever you want to call them, US dollars, cold hard cash. It's going to be a lot of fun. 5minutepitch.com. Head over there today, and now on with the show. This is Mike, and welcome to episode number 173 of the EcomCrew podcast. So glad to have you along with us today. I don't normally talk about this in the get-go of the episode, but I do want to remind people, if you got a second, please go over to iTunes and leave us a review. We have tens of thousands of people that I know download this podcast, but we've only managed to get to 100 reviews, and it drives me crazy. And one of the things that iTunes uses for rankings more than anything else is reviews. So if we can get just a few of you guys to go over there and leave us a review today, we'd really appreciate it. Just be honest. Say, Mike just sits there and blows hot air through the microphone and adds zero value to my business. It's the biggest waste of time. 1 star. Even that probably helps. But if you take the time to do it, I really would appreciate it. You can just go over to iTunes, right in your browser, or your iPhone, wherever you listen to this podcast app. It really does make a big help. And today I'm going to be talking about free plus shipping offers. This is something that I've talked about in the past before on the podcast, but I don't believe I've ever given it a full-length episode. So I really want to take a deep dive into free plus shipping offers and why they can be a tremendous value to your business and what the challenges are, some of the offers that we've run and things of that nature, things to be thinking about and all that good stuff. So another reminder, if you go to ecomcrew.com/173, that'll take you right to the show notes and comments and questions for this episode. And right on the other side of this intro, I'm going to dig right into free plus shipping offers.
Welcome to the EcomCrew podcast, hosted by Mike Jackness and Dave Bryant, who together run e-commerce businesses that generate 8 figures annually. Mike and Dave take pride in running a podcast that isn't just fluff, talking about specific products, problems, and real-world solutions. In the words of one of our favorite reviews, this podcast is like a playbook for e-commerce. You can take any episode and spend the next month trying to implement it. So without further ado, here's the EcomCrew.
All right, guys, thanks for joining me for another edition of the EcomCrew podcast. I'm going to be flying solo today, talking about free plus shipping offers. This is something that has really made a pretty impactful difference in our business. And we really stumbled upon it by accident. Let me tell you the backstory, because it's always fun to talk about how things happen in life. I mean, I think that a lot of things get invented by accident, right? You look back at history and some of the most important inventions in history, people weren't even trying to invent. They just came across them. And that's what happens here a lot in our office. I definitely don't feel like I'm the smartest guy in the room ever, but I am pretty tenacious and I'm always trying new things. I'm not afraid to fail. And sometimes someone will say something or something will happen and it'll trigger something in me to make me go come up with a solution for that. And so what happened was in 2015, when we first started Color It, we put all this effort into designing the perfect coloring book. My cousin Erica had come to me about this idea of doing coloring books for adults. It was all the rage, and it's since really died down. So for us to be able to continue to grow in the headwind of adversity of it just being a shrinking market, because it seems like it was a little bit of a fad, but luckily, much like online poker, which I experienced the same thing, even though it was a fad and there was a quick run up and a peak, the end result was that it's still way more popular than it ever was. And that's certainly the way it is for coloring for adults. So it was 2015. We put all this effort into design the perfect coloring book. And the way that I am, and my cousin Erica's the same way, so it was very easy. Our thoughts were on the same page. And it was like, look, we're gonna crush it. We're gonna leapfrog over everything else out there and really design like this book that's geared towards adults. Because what was happening was artists had come along and started drawing these really intricate, amazing drawings that were geared towards adults, but they were still being printed in the traditional way with softback covers and just traditional paper and everything. Printing on both sides, things of this nature. And we sat down and it was, even though I wasn't into adult coloring, it was obvious to me some of the things we could do to improve this, which was to make it a hardback cover. That way it would protect the artwork. That way you could color it like in your lap on a bus or something on the way to work or on an airplane or something like that. And it would just make the experience much more enjoyable. We wanted to make it so you would only color on one side, because one of the things I noticed when I was testing some other books, as soon as you start coloring on a page, even if you're using something like a pencil that doesn't obviously bleed through the paper, it still makes like that indent, that impression on the other side of the paper. And it looks kind of like tacky when you see like this scribbling stuff through the other side of the paper. That was something I was looking at. And I was like, you know what? Like this paper is super thin. It's not even made for coloring. It's like got that like off whiteness that all paperback books kind of have. Let's make some actual artist quality paper. And another thing that was like driving me crazy as I was testing out coloring, and it was driving me crazy in other ways because I'm not really into coloring. The book wouldn't lay flat, so the book would close on itself, and on and on. There was a few other things that we designed, but obviously with doing something like this, there's a cost to it, right? You can't just do all these additional features and sell it for the same $4 or $5, $6 that the books that were really popular were selling for at Walmart or on Amazon.com or wherever it might be. Our books were significantly more expensive. At the time, they were $17.99, and now they're $19.99 with the increased cost of labor and paper. And what was happening was, as we started launching and the word was getting out, we were getting really, really positive comments to the people that were buying our books. I mean, it was actually flattering, and it was very touching and gratifying in so many ways, because we had taken this chance by doing all this stuff, and it was really working. But what we had not realized is that most people, their head was stuck in the way that they were used to, which was, I'm paying $6 for a coloring book, and there's no way in the face of this earth I'm going to pay you $20 for a book. And it wasn't like they weren't saying this or we thought that this was their thoughts. This is like literally the comments that were happening on Facebook. I mean, every day, over and over again. You must be crazy. You're effing nuts. Like, I'm not going to pay you $20 for a book. Like, it must be gold leaf. And, there was like all these, and some of them got really nasty. And I was just like, you know what? Like, I get it. And that's the thing. You gotta put yourself in your customer's shoes. This is amazing feedback. Like, I mean, people pay a lot of money to go out and do a bunch of studies and stuff like this to get people to tell them good comments about their products, and third-party studies to get honest opinions about what people really think. So instead of taking it as an insult, I was like, you know what, I've got to bridge this gap. There has to be a way to bridge this gap, and I want to do something that as a test really quickly. So I thought to myself, it didn't take long. I was like, you know what? We've already got, at this point, we had 5 or 6 coloring books that were out. And so we already have designs done. We're already printing them. We already have the paper. It's already basically done. All we have to do is package this in a way where we can get this stuff in their hands so they can just try it out. Like, I just need to get them to have this aha moment. My thought was, if they get it in their hands and they experience it for themselves firsthand, then I won't need to convince them any longer to become a customer. They'll want to throw their money at us, basically, and just open their wallet and be like, shut up, take my money, I want this. That was basically the thought process. So what I did, again, I'm very big on minimal viable products. This is something that we do internally a lot, and maybe I could even do an entire podcast about that in the future, because minimal viable products allow us to test things iteratively, really, really quickly at our company. It's why we are able to come up with usually once a month or once a quarter, something new, something big, because we're constantly just testing stuff. And we never talk about the stuff that doesn't work, that fails. Not that we're embarrassed, because I think that it's important to try a bunch of stuff that fails, but it's because we put a minimal amount of effort just to see if it's even going to get any traction at all. If it doesn't, we just move along and move on to the next thing. My buddy Grant, who used to obviously do this podcast with me for a very long time, he called this the ability to fail forward, right? Instead of failing and just falling backwards and being down in the dumps, you fail and you fall forward when you do it. You learn from it and fall forward. Something that both of us, I think, really excel at. Like, I just have no ego and no pride, I guess, when it comes to that. Like, I have a lot of pride in other things, but telling someone that I tried something and it didn't work is not one of the things that worries me. So I was like, I went to the printer. I was like, look, I want to take 10 of the designs we already have, print them on paper that we obviously already have, and I just need you guys to sandwich this in between two pieces of chipboard, which is this kind of like cardboard. It's kind of the same material that a box is made of, but not quite. It's kind of a cardboard hybrid, if you will, just to protect it, and then shrink wrap it so I can take it and throw a postage label on it and throw it right in the mail. Like, I want this to be really, really easy. I assume that we're going to sell a bunch of these. I need it to be super easy to do. So I want to just go into my order handling system, click 50 of these, hit print, and just peel and stick, peel and stick, peel and stick. That's how I wanted to set it up. And we did it. And it was a big success. And at the time, I didn't really think about calling it a free plus shipping offer. I didn't even really understand what that was, because nobody was really doing any of that stuff in e-commerce back then. It was just something that we did as a means to get our product in people's hands. And our order retake rate, basically people that buy the free plus shipping offer, over 50% of them then come back and buy a book. They go back and buy the $20 book. But the way that I set it up was I wanted to have my cost covered, what they're paying me for this free thing, to be able to cover the cost of printing, the drawings, and the cost of the actual shipping. So it was perfect, because our standard shipping on our website is $3.99, and the cost of first class mail for these things was $2.40, and the cost to make them was $1. We had a little bit of wiggle room there, and our first free plus shipping offer was born. Now, some things that we did right from the get-go that were really important is I made a special landing page just for this item. I made a special follow-up sequence via email for this item, and we let it go. We let it just kind of run from there. And now we are a little bit more sophisticated. But at that point, again, our customers had an aha moment, and so did we. And since then, we've then run a whole bunch of different free plus shipping offers. And I want to spend the rest of this episode talking about some specifics of things that we've run and the things that I think that are important to have as a free plus shipping offer, and things that you want to kind of try to avoid. So let's get into some of the other ones that we've done just real quick, just so you can kind of get another idea of things that we've tried in the past. Another thing that we've done is 3 free markers, just pay shipping and handling. So we normally sell our markers for $1.99 each, and so it's it's $6 of value. They're just paying shipping. But the idea is for people to go out and buy a higher value product, to have that aha moment, so they can go try out the product. It's 3 random colors. We put together something called a 3 marker challenge along with this, where people were going to get these 3 random colors, and they would also, along with it, get a free download. They would color the download, submit it, and have a chance of winning a random prize as well. So we tied it all into all these different things to kind of really get it to work. And lo and behold, it really helped our marker sales just as much as the other free plus shipping helped our book sales. And again, you want to get the product in people's hands, because our markers look very similar to other markers out there. And it's like, well, why would I pay you? At the time we were charging more, but and actually I just realized, I looked up on the site, I thought that $1.99 was cheap. We sell the individual markers for $3.99. I apologize. So they're actually getting $12 retail value for $3.99. But our markers are high value. We sell them for $40 a set, and they're legitimately better than other markers that physically look the same. But there's a lot to a marker that makes it better or different. The ink that goes inside of it, the actual nibs, the tips that people color with. And we wanted people to experience it themselves. And once they start drawing and coloring with these, are like, oh my God, this is like such an amazing experience. I want to buy a set. And that really has helped. I'll give you another example of something that we're doing right now. It's always easy to remember something that you're in the middle of right now. We're trying to build our email list for tactical.com and TAC9er. And so what we've done is a free plus shipping offer for a bunch of different products that we've tried out. that we're ultimately probably going to develop. One's a credit card multi-tool. So again, something that has a very high perceived value, but doesn't cost a whole lot. So we're going to make this credit card multi-tool all in with the packaging and everything for under $1, and it'll cost us $2.40 for shipping. We're charging again $3.99 for a free plus shipping offer. We did it with a flashlight. You can buy these LED tactical flashlights relatively cheaply, and it's working well for that. We also are going to the next one we're going to be doing is a paracord bracelet, and you can get these either source. You can do what we did with the stuff that I've talked about here, and develop this yourself and launch it as a free plus shipping offer. Or you can go to AliExpress, and that's something I'll talk about here in just a little bit. But those are just some examples of things that we've done to either we want to build our list, which I think is probably pervasive through all of this. It's always important to be building your list. But the other thing that we're looking to do, I guess the B would be to get a particular product in people's hands that has a cross-selling or upselling opportunity down the road. So obviously a credit card multi-tool, they buy that directly. I'm not going to sell them the big brother of that for $50 because that doesn't exist. So that's just a way to get people in the door. Hopefully it's a high quality product and you'll sell them some ancillary product later, versus the 10 free plus shipping offer has a direct upsell later down the funnel of a 50-page book or a 30-page book. The markers, they get 3 markers, and I'm going to sell them the 50 set. Another thing that's really important about free plus shipping offers is to make sure that you have an upsell at the time that you set this up. So we use one-click upsell for this. So someone goes and buys our 10 free sample drawings, they immediately get an upsell offer for a set of gel pens. I don't want to sell them at that moment a full-length book because I'm trying to get them to have the aha moment for the book once they get the drawing. So what's like a side product that they need that will make that experience even better? Well, our best-selling coloring mediums are a set of gel pens, and it works really great as a free plus shipping offer, upsell. And then what we're going to be doing later is actually adding an upsell and a downsell to that. So if they elect to take it, we'll then offer them pencils or watercolor pens, brush pens. Downsell might be maybe it is a 30-page book or something else that's kind of in that flow, but you want to try to increase the value that you get and not just get them to buy just the free plus shipping offer, which is something that we were missing in the earlier days that we're doing a much better job with moving forward. So let's talk about the components of what makes a great free plus shipping offer. Ideally, you want something that's less than a pound, or less than 13 ounces, so you can ship it first class. You have to get your shipping cost as low as humanly possible. I prefer something that's 6 ounces or less, something that I can ship for $2.40. It's really important to get the cost down. Ideally, it's something that costs you $1 or $2 that has a retail value of over $10. So you want something that has a very high perceived value that weighs very little to be able to send people that is going to have one of two paths, either a path to a bigger brother version of that. Like I was saying, think 10 free sample drawings upselling to a full length book, 3 markers upselling to the full 50 set, or some other ancillary products in your catalog. So Tac9er, the people that buy this credit card multi-tool are going to have an affinity to all of our other products, to our multi-tool shovel, to our evac tool shovel, to our tactical gloves, to our trekking poles. I mean, these are the types of people that are going to buy these types of products. So getting them to buy our credit card multi-tool and basically breaking even at the time of sale without even having any upsell offers in that queue is really impactful, because now I have them on my email list and I can market to them other products over time. And they've been able to get one of my products, experience our customer service, experience our high quality product, interact with us. They now trust us that we're going to actually ship them the free plus shipping offer. This is a scam type thought processes go out the window, and people are no longer worried about that. They're going to most likely take advantage of anything else that you offer them moving forward. So the way that you can go about doing this, almost immediately in your business, is to go on AliExpress and start looking for products that fit this model. So what we've done with the credit card multi-tool is, for instance, we just looked for a credit card multi-tool. That was on AliExpress. They're out there all day long for $3-ish or whatever, completely shipped to the person's door, and started advertising it. We bought one. We made a video out of it. We started advertising it to people on Facebook. We made a landing page for it, and we went to town. And this is a way to start selling that credit card multi-tool, seeing what you can get your cost per acquisition down to, starting to learn what audiences do what. And when you start to get some traction, you first of all, you can go through a bunch of different products. You don't have, if that doesn't work, you go on to the next product. If that doesn't work, you go on to the next product. But when you start to get some traction, you're getting sales for $10 or less, $5 or less. You're going to probably lose money in the early going. We certainly have, as we dial in our targeting, dial in our ads, et cetera, et cetera. And you're not even using your own product at this point, so it makes it even more difficult. But once you get within earshot of what your final goal is, what we do at that point is then we order a bunch of them, make a higher quality version of the widget that's on AliExpress with your own branding. So when you do it through AliExpress, you're going to be giving away something that isn't even branded as yours. We don't care. We just want to test it. So the credit card multi-tool, once we did get traction with it, we ordered 10,000 of them, literally, because our hope is to be giving away 50 to 100 of them a day, and also sell them on Amazon, which is another whole thing as a side note to this episode. But we'll be selling that stuff on Amazon, and we'll have a list of people that have already purchased that we can use as a lookalike audience, and as a hey, this is now on Amazon, go buy this new version over there. Some percentage of people will do that. And we'll have a head start over people that don't have any list or don't have anybody that's ever purchased that product. So that's kind of like the timeline of what we're looking for there. And you can really probably see the importance, now that I've had an opportunity to really dig into why these 3+ shipping offers are so important and can be so impactful to your business. Now, what I will say is that, again, like I talk about whenever I go speak at any event, every business is different. So it really depends on the type of business that you have. I'm going to go through all of our businesses and talk about 3+ shipping offers that we're doing or thinking of doing for all of our businesses. For ice wraps, it doesn't make sense for us to do a 3+ shipping offer for a typical product because it's a company that doesn't have a good lifetime value of a customer. They have an ailment. They have a problem. We solve it. They don't need us anymore. They move on with their life. We move on with ours. Not ideal when it comes to e-commerce, but not bad either. It's a great business that makes us 7 figures every year. Brings in 7 figures of revenue every year. So great business, but not necessarily great for 3+ shipping offers. But there is a small segment of people that are really high value customers to us. And these are people that buy custom gel packs. They buy 500 of them at a time, 1,000 of them at a time. So what we've done is we've made a 3+ shipping offer with a couple different sizes of sample gel packs with your logo here printed on them, and they can get those for free. We don't even charge shipping for that particular offer because it's so high value. We just if they want it, fill out the form and we'll send you these gel packs. Obviously, that is a direct linear upsell opportunity. We send them something that costs us $5. There's a 1 in 5 chance, 1 in 10 chance, whatever, of people ordering that product eventually. So let's say it costs us $50 to acquire a sale that way, but they're placing multi-$100 orders, and almost everyone that does order once just orders again over and over again as they use them up. This is a really great way to put into a 3+ shipping offer for that business. Color, I already mentioned some of the ones that we've done with the 3+ shipping offers of the 10 sample drawings. We did Christmas drawings at one point. We did the markers. There's some stuff that we tried that didn't work. There's other things that we've tried that is working, but that gives you a good idea for Color It. For tactical, I mentioned already a whole bunch of them: the credit card tool, the paracord bracelet, the flashlight. There's all kinds of stuff in that realm that is a perfect 3+ shipping offer. While Baby, we're looking at jewel bibs, so organic jewel bibs. So we'll give a free bib away to someone, and hopefully, that's something that you need more than one of. So you get one free one. Try it out. Well, then we have a 10-pack that you can buy, and hopefully, if you enjoy that as well, there's a bunch of other products because you need a lot more than just jewel bibs as a baby customer. I want to throw something completely random out there, like treadmill.com. When we own Treadmill, obviously we can't send them a free treadmill as a 3+ shipping offer, but there's all kinds of things you could do. Exercise bands, like an exercise ball, downloadable free, content or something that you could, or maybe it's a book that you send them that they just pay shipping and handling of exercise routines. People that are in the fitness space that are into it enough that they're interested in this type of content to where if they do get it, there's a good chance that over time you can sell them something like a treadmill. That would be something I would do with that. There's all kinds of other things that you could do for every business, I think, out there. For the most part, there's things you could do to offer a free plus shipping offer, but there's definitely businesses out there that it wouldn't work well for. And I can never think of these types of things on the fly. I'm sitting here with a pair of headphones in front of me. If I only sold headphones, like how do I like over the year $300 set of headphones, and that was my only SKU, like what would I offer as a free plus shipping offer? It's hard to say. So some things it's tough, but if you sold something like packing cubes, and the only thing that's sitting in my office because I'm getting ready to go on a trip, you could send someone a free packing cube or a sample size one of that. Maybe it only holds electronics or something, and then upsell them a larger version or other things later if they like the product because yours has better zippers or a cooler design or a nice logo or the material's really good or it has some other unique functionality. Again, it works better if you have something unique that you really need to get people to have that aha moment, but it also works just fine in other ways as well. So, and then of course, the other thing you could do is, like I said, go to AliExpress and find something that's close to your product. It doesn't have to be the exact thing that you're looking to do, because you can then do a test and use them as your free plus shipping offer. So there, that's kind of the high end, reiterating, kind of going over it again, of free plus shipping offers. I'm sure you can kind of see why they've been such a positive impact to our business. And I think that you can use this in your business as well for the most part. But again, use your common sense, think things through. Is this right for me? It's not right for everybody. I really love to stress that, because one of the things that drives me crazy is people when they promote, like, use my secret sauce, it's going to make you $1 million, and you can just use it without having to use your own brain power. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to be fluid and be able to figure things out. So figure out what's going to be best within your business and adapt that to this model, and I think you'll have great success. I want to remind people again that you can get to the show notes for this episode by going to ecomcrew.com/173 for the show notes. I've already begged you for a review, but I'll mention one more time. You can go to iTunes for leaving us a review. It really does help us over here at the EcomCrew podcast. Besides that, we love hearing from our fans. Shoot us an email, support@ecomcrew.com if you've got questions, or you can leave them right on the show notes at ecomcrew.com/173. Just as another reminder of that. And besides that, everyone, I hope you're having a great month. Things are wrapping up here. The year is quickly coming to an end. It's already almost Q4, almost time to get your holiday sales hat on. And if you haven't started planning for that yet, oh man, you're too late. So hopefully you have. And besides that, everyone, I want to wish you guys a good month selling, and happy selling, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the EcomCrew podcast. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/EcomCrew for weekly live recordings of the EcomCrew podcast every Monday. And please do us a favor and leave an honest review on iTunes. It would really help us out. Again, thanks for listening. And until next week, happy selling.